All right, Algebra 1, here we go. Getting into Chapter 8, adding and subtracting polynomials. Our essential question today is going to be, how are monomials and polynomials related? Okay, well, let's start out defining some things here. What is a monomial? It's a real number. Remember that double bar R means real number. Or it's a variable, or it's a product of both. Right? For example, 18, x squared, 3a squared. Anything that's joined through multiplication, one single term, that's a monomial. Okay? As soon as you start to add or subtract something else, then it becomes a different polynomial, and I'll talk about that later. How do you find the degree of a monomial? Okay? If you have a single term monomial, then the sum of the exponents is the degree of that monomial. So in this case, and it's on the variables. Okay? Sum of the exponents of the variables. So x to the first degree. When I have two variables, I add their two exponents. 3 plus 2 is 5, so it has a degree of 5. If the number is 4, that's the same thing as 4x to the 0. Okay, this is the same thing. That's where the 0 degree comes from. And we know that x to the 0 is just 1, so we get 4 times 1 is 4. So finding it's the sum of the exponents of the variables. Okay. Adding and subtracting monomials, combine like terms. You've seen this already many times. You can add x squareds with other x squareds. 3 plus 5 is 8x squareds. X cubed y, 4 minus 1. Remember there's a 1 there, we just don't put it. Okay. That's 3. X cubed y. Negative 6x to the fourth plus 11x to the fourth. 11 minus 6 is 5. X to the fourth. Okay. Pretty straightforward stuff there. You've seen it in the past. Adding and subtracting monomials, combined like terms. Okay, what is a polynomial? A polynomial is a monomial or a sum of monomials. Okay, 2x. If it's a monomial, it's a polynomial. As soon as you add two monomials together, it just becomes a bigger polynomial, and we'll get into specific terms here a little bit later. Adding monomials together, those are all polynomials. Okay? You're going to hear me talk about standard form a lot. When you start looking at polynomials that are 4, 5, 6 terms, we like to arrange them in a certain order that we call standard form so that we can all look and see that we have the same answer. Okay? And standard form means arranging the polynomial from the largest exponent to the smallest. So when you look at my x's here, 4, 2, 1, and that's like x to the 0. The constant always goes last. So as long as your exponents are arranged from largest to smallest, you're in standard form. Okay? How do you find the degree of a polynomial? Okay? When it was a monomial, we added the exponents. When you have a polynomial like here, okay, the largest exponent is the degree of the polynomial. So this one right here would be a 4th degree polynomial. Okay? So whatever the biggest, when you put them in standard form, biggest exponent, that's the degree of your polynomial. Now I want to talk about classifying polynomials. We classify them two ways, by the number of terms and by its degree. Okay? A monomial we've talked about, it's just one term. There's examples of it there. When you have two monomials joined by plus or minus, it's a binomial, by two terms. Okay? Trinomial, 3 terms. Anything bigger than that, we just call it a polynomial. It's more than 3 terms. Like there's 4 of them right there, x squared plus 2x plus 3y minus 2. Polynomial. Okay? So you count the number of terms and you can classify it that way. Looking at the degree, okay, if you have a polynomial with 0 degree, like if it was 6, okay, this, that would have a 0 degree if it's any number. Okay? First degree would be anything like this. X plus 1. What's the biggest exponent here? A 1. First degree. Second degree would be a quadratic. X squared plus 2x plus 3. What's the biggest degree? The 2. Second degree. It's a quadratic. Third degree. Anything that looked like this, that has an x cubed. Okay? It's a cubic, because the biggest degree is 3. fourth degree, it would be a 4 right there, and so on. If that biggest exponent was a 7, the degree would be 7. So we can classify, this would be a monomial, 0 degree. This would be a binomial, first degree. This would be a trinomial, second degree. This would just be a polynomial, third degree. Okay, and so on. So, 2 ways of classifying your polynomials. Classify this, 3x squared plus 4x cubed. First thing I want to do is get it in standard form. So I switch the order so I get the biggest exponent first. I have 2 terms, so it's a binomial. My biggest exponent's a 3, so it's a third degree, or it's a cubic. Okay? So I've classified it by the number of terms and by the degree. Second example here, 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, but I can combine my like terms and my x's. So this is it in standard form. So it's a trinomial, 3 terms, second degree, so it's a quadratic. Okay, and then the last thing, adding and subtracting, just combine like terms. Thing here, if it's a plus, just drop the parentheses and combine like terms. When it's a minus, you have to distribute that minus to everything. That's like minus 1. So if I rewrite this, this is going to be a minus 2x cubed minus plus, so that's going to be a minus 5x squared. Minus times a minus, that gives me a plus 12. Then combine like terms, and I always start with the biggest exponents, 1 minus 2, so I can write it in standard form as I do it. Minus 3x squared minus 5x squared is minus 8x squared plus 5x, and what's left? 12. You'll notice I kind of underlined each thing so I didn't forget a term somewhere. Okay, so not only did I combine like terms, adding and subtracting here, but I put my answer in standard form. That's what you want to do. Okay, we're going to look at this tomorrow, hit some of those examples. See you then. Bye.